Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in to check out your boy, P Farm. Thinking right out here in my lab, and I'm in the book. I'm about to wrap up this lesson with the deep unconsciousness of your personality, aka Amun. We call him the hidden one. Let's talk. Rightisms, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message. There's always a message in my stories for life. I give life lessons. You tuning in to receive them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's do what we do. Right thinking mission is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right thinkers way of life through mental and spiritual discipline practice daily will help and guide you to attain your goal of reaching spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal is to know thyself. See where I'm going with this? Let's get there together. So I asked the question, do you know you? You will when I'm through. That's what I do. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I got you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. Don't be them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. That's what I do for you. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers know thyself and to my yacht be true. Right thinkers, again, P Funk's philosophy wrapping up on the deep unconsciousness of your mind, which is Amun. This is what I tell you. Where you go, when you don't remember, you go to meet him, and this will prepare you for what? The eternal meeting with him. Let's go. When you are asleep, then we are in the deep dream state of consciousness. It ceases where you are. This is the deep unconscious state where you go to meet your higher self, aka Amen, the hidden one. He's hidden in your deep recesses of your mind, of your consciousness. This is what he tries to explain to you. And it is characterized by a deep experience of what? Peace, tranquilityness, transcendence, excuse me, and that feeling of just that good feeling, okay, that indescribable. That's God. The thing that you can't describe, that's where you put it in that concept. But this is why, upon your awakening from the experience, you might say that, man, I just experienced a profound, I had the best rest. Man, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Now, that's the concept of the afterlife and eternity that you want to go to when your last breath is taken here. That's where you want to reside in that state of mind. And that's what they try to tell you. Nobody came back and told us that, but we have pretty much glimpses of it in our life right here now to tell you, yeah, that's what I want. I know I've been there. I want that. Okay? So you cannot say where you were. You can't explain what you did, but all you know is what happened. Don't even know that, but you know that now. You know that it was total peace, rest, everything that's good. That you just I want that. Yeah, if I'm going, I want that. You feel me? I'm hoping I got goosebumps right now because that's the purpose of what we try to teach for you to have that state for yourself. But this is because now you were where temporarily in the presence of God. You became one with God. Hope you're understanding this. And you transcended beyond any form of dualistic consciousness that is experienced in your dream state or in the physical waking state of your consciousness. This is why it's called the deep dreamless state. There is no sense expressions, sense experiences. The physical body ain't got nothing to do with this. It's all mental, but it feels so good. Hmm? Thus, your conscious experiences, when undifferentiated, exist beyond this physical and even the dream. That's what we try to tell you. It's another level. That's where you want to end up. That is existence at its highest level. And when there is what? No dual, that's beyond Mayat. I mean, before Mayat, there was singular. Okay, it was all potential, but all chaotic. No order, no discipline, but it was always there. Okay, we broke it down to what? Choice. And when you go to level with God, it's only one. I tell you, everything comes from the one, and we're all the one. Come on, man. And George been singing that song for 50 years. And when that level, there's no duality. Why? No you and me, no up or down, no here or there, no male or female, no yes, no, etc. You get the concept? Single, one. This is the true state of consciousness. And the highest state, we call it nihas. When you reach that level, you know that you and God are one and the same. And while you're still here in the physical world, you can take that and ride it. Why? That's what you want to do. You got your ticket punched. Now just enjoy this physical life. Do whatever. Don't make a difference. What did Christians say? Get the kingdom of heaven. Get God and go out and pursue the world. Why? You can do all things through what? God who strengthens you. Same concept, same philosophy. I just use a different philosophy, different word. It's the same damn thing. Excuse me. Pardon me. Excuse me. Yeah, when you reach your true state of consciousness, that's your consciousness combining with your higher consciousness. It becomes one. You're not an individual now. You're one with the source. And it is this true state of existence for all human beings. That's the state, that's the goal that we want to reach. What happened in the human experience is to reach that goal. And in other words, consciousness, again, is in reality undifferentiated and free from all associations with duality, physical bodies, the five senses, human problems, family members, etc. It's all from the one. However, this state of mind, when experienced, right, you go right here, this is the part I love. When experienced in the dreamless state, is only a dull memory upon waking up. Why? You don't remember it because you wasn't conscious of that. Okay? You went somewhere and you were like, wow, yeah, that's the way you want to end up again. That state of consciousness right there. You can stay there forever, can't you? That's the idea. That's the concept. So how we know? We don't. But we have it here to give us a glimpse. That's the concept. And this is why people do not become spiritually enlightened by what? The experience. What is necessary is to explore this area of what? Total consciousness in a positive way through what? Daily meditation and through understanding brought about by what? Daily studying and reflecting upon these mystical teachings. And then by actually, here we go, my favorite, experience through the practice of daily meditation. Bam! God dwells in the meditative state of mind. That's what they've been trying to tell you the whole time. I'm going to keep on grinding right to you. Now, on an ordinary level, this state of consciousness is experienced by the people in the form of, ready? Peace and bliss. Christians call it they call it being blissed out. Okay, when they that feeling of just feeling back, God, we call it the liquor of Maya. Okay, from the spiritual aspect, it makes you feel good, but it's the mind that's sending it down through the body. That's a beautiful feeling, and that's why they call it peace, hotep, or bliss, nirvana, moksha. Everybody got a word for it. Okay, but have you ever had your own experience of the deep peace, contentment, or self-satisfaction which you cannot explain intellectually? Have you ever had that feeling? It ain't love. No. It's way beyond all of that. That's what they call God is what? Indescribable. You can't put it into words. It's just an experience that you have to have for yourself. Now you know for a fact there's a higher power. There's a higher conscious state. There's a higher superior being. What you call him, the name you give him, I could care less. Okay? But this is the deeper feeling in that deep unconscious level that we all going to go to when this life is over. Those who are enlightened will, those who aren't won't. Simple. It is beyond the conscious human mind, the intellect, or it's the level of awareness wherein there is only reasoning, memory, thoughts, etc. Wow, it's all kept right here. The transcendental personality, we call him Nabercha, the all-encompassing one, the spirit and consciousness, and encompassing everything. That's the one. Everybody got a different name for him, but we got the same attributes for everyone. They're all the same. Okay, God, generator, operator, destroyer. Yeah, Allah, a head, a leg, all that, whatever. Yeah, make it fit. I just got fit. The Jews just did the acronym for their concept of God. I ain't got a problem with it. I just didn't know. I get. They have a purpose and reason, and they have a tradition they follow. They don't give a damn what you think or feel about that. I understand that. Yahweh, they know means breath. I was freaking out. I know what Yahweh means. Okay, I got the concept, but they put it and they do a symbol to make it work for them. I understand now. It's for letters, it all again symbolism, and more symbolism. Understand the symbolism, get the sign, and you got esoteric knowledge. What hidden messages that everybody ain't gonna understand. Everybody does it. Where we are? Oh yeah, let me read this right quick. An ancient Egyptian proverb: "The sleep of the body is the sober watchfulness of one's mind, and the shuddering of my eyes reveals the true light." You think you're talking about this eyes? Nope. Third eye. The light that shines in the darkness of one's mind, the pineal gland, the third eye. That's what they're talking about. The Egyptians had a way of parallel speaking, and you would never know what the hell he's saying. The Bible full of it. Y'all don't get half of them. Y'all got half the book wrong. Okay. But he's speaking from the third eye concept. All mental. All of these states of consciousness are mental, but they're described above are relative. They are all relative. Why? Because they are not abiding. They are all mental concepts and constructs of every individual mind. The one true consciousness is the one that you reach in the end. That's why. And they are in the same realm of what we call duality, multiplicity, and segmentation of consciousness. Different states, different concepts. And they depend on and are sustained by what? An undying essence, which is the only reality which we know to be God. The all-conscious one, the all-knowing one, the all-present. Whatever title you give it, we know that. We know that. Okay, but keep telling me the damn title don't mean a damn thing. Show me, well, not me, but prove that title that you holding, how worthy you are of what? His blessings. That's what you live for. Moving on. The underlying essence is what we call the absolute, the immutable, the indescribable, and the real. That's funk. I know that. Beyond the waking, beyond the dreaming and your unconscious personality lies that transcendental state of what we call consciousness, all consciousness. And attaining that state is the objective of all right thinkers, spiritual beings who practice spiritual disciplines. You want to be spiritually disciplined. God is spirit. You want to be God disciplined. And it is the highest achievement of all sages and saints, regardless of whatever their philosophy you practice. This is the underlying essence of all the states of consciousness that we discussed the last three. The last two has been the third. This is the one. And this is the level of total awareness, wherein there is a self-discovery, what? That all of the states of consciousness, the waking, the dream, and the dreamless sleep are in reality just emanations and aberrations of the one transcendental state, which is without distinction or differentiations of any kind. Now, therefore, from an undifferentiation comes differentiation, and from non-duality comes duality. However, as we have seen, hopefully learning, the underlying essence of duality is non-duality. Therefore, the supreme reality, the transcendental self, the conscious self, is present in all states of consciousness. And in reality, duality is merely just an illusion that's sustained by the unenlightened mind, aka ignorant ones, which who are caught in a constant movement from what? One state of mind to the other, and constantly agitated, so they never at rest, never at peace, they never gonna know themselves. And when there is a discovery of the transcendental state, now the human being is no longer caught, aka ignorant of itself, and caught in any state of relativity. Why? This means that there is not possible for him or her to be caught up in life's experiences of the waking, the dream, or the dream sleep states. Why? Therefore, they will not experience pain and sorrows or elations of ordinary human existence. They put themselves past what? Desires of the flesh, wanting things that they know is temporary. Move past that level of understanding. That's the higher level. And if you don't desire or expect something, you can't be disappointed. You can't be frustrated. Why? When you desire, you expect things, and when you don't get it, you be disappointed. When you get it, you elated. That's the roller coaster. Get out that mode. Instead, you will experience what we call pure, unobstructed, what? Hotep, peace, and bliss. Again, Hotep. When they will not be subjected to becoming caught up in the cycle of what? Birth and death, aka reincarnation. Knowing thyself stops that recycling of what? Your ignorant self. Now you are an enlightened being. You can go home. And because there will be no more physical desires of the flesh, of the conscious mind, to impel it to seek what? More ethereal or astral experiences of waking or unconscious experiences. You have done all you could do here. You learned your life lesson. Now it's time to go home. Your bar has the head on it, which is yours, meaning you're conscious of your spirit. Bingo. Heart, mind, coherence come together, takes you home. That's the ticket. Now, in the transcendental state, the enlightened state, the awoken state, there is no segmentation, there's no time, no space, no differentiation, and no duality. Everything is one. There is only one unitary consciousness, aka all, which encompasses all existence from the one to the many. This is why in this state of deep dreamless state, as well as the state of deep meditation, there we go. What happens? There is no awareness of what? The passage of time or events in space. You are free in a whole nother zone where time don't matter. In other words, you are not a subject relating to objects through the mind, senses, the body, or your personality. Words, you are not subject to them and your personality. This is why the dreamless sleep state is so what? So restful, so peaceful, so relaxing, because you done gave up everything and it ain't costing you nothing to be there. You just existing. And duality draws your mental energy while non-duality is restful. That's why. See the difference? And peaceful and what? Invigorating. Those are things when you go to that deep sleep and you come out of there, those are things that you was doing while recharging, rebooting, getting ready. So therefore, that rest, that experience at the astral level, Ra, and then at the physical level, Pata, planes, cannot be compared with what? That experience in your deep unconscious plane, aka Amun, the hidden one. Okay? He's the top. And the biggest difference between this experience of the deep sleep state coming to grips with Amun, that's where you're going to end up. if you play your cards right in this physical world. Have your spirits get enlightened, and that right there, that's where you'll be forever. And that is how the people think and feel at that time. And watch this, and that of your deep meditative right there. Your meditative state is that meditative state where you find la virtue. And it is a state of what? Heightened awareness, total consciousness, knowing thyself, knowledge of who? Yourself. While in this deep sleep state is a state which is what? Blanketed by a veil of what? Ignorance. And watch this. Your ego individuality will never reach that state. That's why. The meditative state is not passive like the sleep state. Nah. You got to raise your conscious level, and that's what the meditation is for, to get the ignorant mind awakened. And the ignorant mind won't delve into that area why it don't want to be awakened. In reality, it is a state of what we call positive awareness, which allows now your mind to be clear of what? Negative thoughts that will cloud the reflection of the truth of who you really are, your higher self. And using the metaphor of, we use the lake as the mind, like the water. If it is beset with negative thoughts, pleasures of desires of the flesh, and led by ignorance, aka your ego, it will be murky and muddy, like the lake in the midst of the raging storm. It's never going to be clear. But if it is purified, enlightened with understanding, living right, and calm through what? Practice of my favorite right thing philosophy, Maya, with balance and your thinking and acting in equanimity, you're daily meditating, and your actions are righteous, then it is clearly reflects the light of your true self, which pervades every corner of the universe. Just as when the lake is calm, the mud settles, and one can see straight clearly to the bottom. That's you seeing clearly to your higher self in reverse, okay? Now, through the practice of what? Right thing philosophy or yoga, that is what you listening and practicing the teachings and reflecting upon the teachings and then meditating upon the teachings. And now it is possible to consciously be able to discover this transcendental state that is beyond the waking and the dreaming and the dreamless sleep state, and the physical astral and the deep unconscious planes of existence. I'm going to stop there because I got more for you, but right now I'm going to stop. No, I can go. No, I got a few more minutes. I got at least half hour. I'm going to get my half hour in one with them. So okay, I'm going to stop there. But now, so when this happens, when this is accomplished by every individual, now the darkness, I gave it light, but the darkness, the flashlight, that was enveloping in your mind, the dark side, the dark night of the soul, y'all call it. No, that's the places you don't want to go, things you don't want to deal with, your true self, okay? The dark side. And when that veil is lifted and your ignorance in which one held you in your degraded dark state of mind of the three personalities now becomes like a soft mist, which can now be dispersed by a mere thought. I told you I put my ego to work to keep the bad thoughts out. That's how I use it mentally. But this purified mind can now reveal its true glory of what? The Supreme Self that dwells, that shines throughout every plane of existence as what? The non-dual transcendental reality we call God. This is the power of one's mind, which is trained in the spiritual disciplines of right thinking philosophy or the yoga, when the universe awareness overpowers all the relative states, the waking, the dream, or the dreamless state. There is a continuous experience of peace. I call it God consciousness. They call it peace and bliss at all times. Ding, ding, ding. Joy. When you have joy, happiness within you, nobody can take that away. They didn't give it to you. They can't take it, as my pastor would tell you. But this is what we call resurrection of one's soul, which have to occur in the Asarian mysteries, and that's the unveiling of Aset, Isis, y'all call it, in the Asetian mystery. mysteries of ancient Egypt. The enlightenment of the Buddhists, the moksha or the Kayavada, the liberation of the Vedans, the Christhood, divine marriage or discovery of what? The kingdom of heaven, whereas what? Within of the Christian concepts, etc. Everybody had a philosophy. Everybody had a concept of what? The high level of achievement within themselves to reach God. Another picture depicting the union of Haru, your higher self, with the falcon-haired man, okay, the son of Ra, and Set, the funny-haired guy, the pointy-eared guy, the square-eared guy, represents your ego. And it's most important. Why? Because they spoke in symbolism. It symbolizes the union of what? Haru and Set, good and evil, which is a mystical code for what? The uniting or the harmonizing of one's lower self, which is Set, the ego self, and one's higher self, which is Haru, the spirit that's in me and you, in the individual human being. That's devil, get behind me. Why? Set is the devil to y'all. So y'all want Set behind you, not in front. I tell you, the ego should work, not be the leader. Best servant you got. He's always going to fight for you. He protects Ra against the Apophis. It means that you are achieving inner harmony and peace with the universe and the culmination of your ancient Egyptian injunctions, what? Know thyself. That's my mantra. I'm doing just that to try to help everybody I can to do just that. Know thyself. Set is not a devil, again, or an evil force, again, to be destroyed. Again, that's your identification card. That's who you are. That's your true raw nature for your egoism. And it's okay. Just got to control him. He is the principle of the uncontrolled, unchained, uncouth ego self with its rampant desires of what? Selfish thoughts, pleasures of the flesh, anything that it wants to desire, it don't care how it gets it, okay? Thus, in order to conquer Set, not kill him, destroy him, it is necessary to gain control of the impulses, aka your emotions of your lower self. It's all emotions, all physical. Control that. And this is accomplished how? By allowing yourself to be nurtured and protected by the lessons of Aset, wisdom, intuitive knowledge for oneself, which means listening to the mystical stories and the myths and daily studying of the wisdom teachings and through the initiation process and the daily practice of Maya philosophy, aka right thinking, by leading a life based on righteousness, virtue, order, correctness, justice, balance, reciprocity, and more importantly, peace. These are the things that you control. Now, that's the end of the lesson. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you got the message. It was a powerful one. But I'll be right back with the voyage of Ra and the journey of one's soul. I'm loving this. Hope you're enjoying it. Right thinkers, may you all live to be 100. I need 100 miles a day. So I've never known my right thinkers who now got the full understanding of the deep unconsciousness, aka Amun, have passed away.